Last night from the Thomas & Mack Center in Las Vegas, Nevada, Timothy Desert Storm Bradley put his WBO welterweight title on the line against Brandon Bam Bam Rios. And the fight was a one-sided beating. It was worse than anyone had predicted. Brandon Rios had no offense, he had no defense, and fell to Timothy Bradley in the 9th round. Post-fight, Bradley said he's looking up for bigger and better things. Post-fight for Brandon Rios, he said he's retired from boxing. Timothy Bradley fights at 147. He's 32 years old, and realistically, what big fights are there for him at 147? We'll talk about the Canelo fight if that happens, but that's at 154. It's at a higher weight class if it were to happen. Let's look at the top 10 welterweights according to BoxRec. Number 10, Jesse Vargas. He just got beat by Timothy Bradley decisively. And I don't know why Vargas is even at number 10. He should be buried over there in the top 50. Buried. Diego Chavez at number 9. Chavez and Timothy Bradley already fought. It was a disgusting bout, and I see no reason for a rematch. But I do believe he has one more fight maybe left with Top Rank. But that fight, even if he wins, even if Tim Bradley wins, I don't believe he'll raise his stock. Number 8, Lamont Peterson. An interesting fight. It already happened, and Timothy Bradley won. Number 7, number 6, Danny Garcia and Sean Porter. Both Al Heyman guys. Those bouts won't happen. Number 5, interesting one, Amir King Khan. Khan can be full of shit for the past couple of years. Back when he said they had a contract with Floyd Mayweather, when there was really no contract, he had just signed a piece of paper with no one looking at the piece of paper and then sent it to Mayweather. He did the same thing with Manny Pacquiao. He basically signed a contract with nobody looking at it, and then he sent the contract to Top Rank. He also said that he got the best of Andre Ward in their sparring. Andre Ward said they never sparred. So Amir Khan now says, or recently said at least, that he's not affiliated with Al Heyman. That he's not an Al Heyman guy. Yet documents show differently, and he's contractually obligated to fight on Showtime. So I don't think that fight will happen. Amir Khan is just desperate for a payday and wants to be nowhere near the number 2 person on this list. The number 4 person on the list, Tim Bradley. Well, of course, he can't fight himself. Number 3, Keith one-time Thurman, Al Heyman guy. Number 2 guy, the number 2 person, Kell Brook, is a huge fight for Timothy Bradley if that were to happen. And I see it happening on pay-per-view. An exciting bout that can determine who will lead the welterweight division after Manny Pacquiao leaves the sport. Kell Brook is 35-0 and currently holds the IBF World Welterweight Championship. He's 29 and can give Timothy Bradley a run for his money. And the number 1 boxer in the welterweight division according to BoxRec, Manny Pacquiao. And a trilogy with Pacquiao has been talked about, but there's no interest in it, especially if this would be Manny Pacquiao's last bout. And if this was Timothy Bradley's next bout, I think Top Rank would be shooting their load. So unless Top Rank decides to cherry pick Tim Bradley's next opponent from a lighter weight, like Giovanni Santillan, they will have to drag him into uncharted territory, unknown territory for Tim, and make him fight bigger guys, and that's not going to happen. I know Tim Bradley signed an extension before he fought Manny Pacquiao for a second time. I don't know the details of the extension, but I doubt Top Rank would do something stupid like make him fight a bigger guy and possibly ruin all their paydays by watching him lose. In my opinion, Top Rank either cherry picks a guy from a lighter division or cherry picks a guy not ranked in the welterweight top 20 to be Tim Bradley's next opponent to set up a bigger fight, possibly against Kell Brook on pay-per-view. Or if they really want to cash him out and his contract's running up, like I said, I don't know the details of his contract, against Saul Alvarez if he defeats Miguel Cotto on November 21st.